these two spectacular players to the audience and the stream.
Of course, sir. Spawning in the bottom left position of this map that is Whirlwind. He got caught off guard in the first game, and in the second game, some very tight play and good control managed to tie things up. It is Millennium's Dayshi. And spawning in the top right position as our red Protoss player. He's got to prove himself in a macro game. Can he take out Dayshi? It is Mouse Sports' Hasuobs.
Now this game, I have no doubt, is going to be fairly spectacular. I'm excited about what this is going to be. I'm just reflecting right now on the day we've had of StarCraft action. It's been pretty spectacular, and I know this is going to go out with a bang. These two both desperately want that spot in the next round. The winner will be going up against one of the people who got knocked out of WCS EU Premier group stages. I can't recall exactly which one it was, and I don't have the brackets up in front of me, unfortunately. But yeah, there's a lot on the line here. The loser gets knocked down into the group stage play of WCS Challenger Division. So they're not out of the tournament or anything like that, but you want to get up into the top league. That is fairly safe thing to say. Everyone who's here, that's their aim. Everyone wants to win Premier Division. It's natural human instinct. But Dayshi going command center first. Nice and economical opening. And meanwhile, Hasuobs, he's gone for the double gas very early on.
So on Whirlwind, we've seen Terran players slowly but surely find ways to be able to expand very quickly against Protoss players while being able to hold off things like Proxy Oracle or any kind of Oracle cheese. So what's going to be curious is the fact that Hasuobs is going for this 2 probes per gas build here on Whirlwind. This could be some sort of Sentry expand into a follow-up tech timing, but given the state of this game, I feel like it could be better to go more economical, but Hasuobs doesn't want to take any chances. It's the last game of this series. You can't hold anything back now.
No, you can't. I find it always tough, psychologically speaking, when you're going into the last game of the series or a match point game. There's part of me which is always like, play it safe. Be sensible, don't take too many risks or anything like that. But then there's the complete mind games over that maybe your opponent won't expect you to take any risk. Maybe this is the map to go for something super aggressive. We saw it in actually the first series with Todd versus Slivko, where in Game 3, Slivko went for that mass speedling push and it wasn't successful. So there's lots of different strategies these two could be employing, but for the moment, Hasuobs, he's going for the safe route. He's taking his Nexus down. The command center is now finished up for Dayshi, and he is adding on a 3rd barrack, so all very normal.
Yeah, this is about as standard as a Terran versus Protoss opener gets. It's a little bit more of the classic style, since we don't see as many players choose to foresee the choose to go for the aggressive builds these days. But well, that like you said, the Nexus is coming in. The Mothership Core will be out for defensive purposes. The Stalker might try to go and put a little pressure here. He knows there's no bunker just yet, so he could try to go for another quick. At least, I wouldn't say he's going to be able to kill him because Dayshi has 2 barracks pumping out Marines already. But he might try to go and just kind of kick him in the shin, slow him down a little bit, and allow himself to get a bit of an edge here because he did not get the fastest expansion possible, whereas Dayshi can't really beat Command Center first.
No, you can't. It's one of those things which is, well, you can't come in and push straight through. These Marines now are going to get really quite high in number exceptionally quickly. We've got the double gas up as well here for Dayshi, so we should be starting to see some add-ons coming onto these barracks fairly soon. Meanwhile, the Nexus has just completed for Hasuobs. He's started his robotics facility, so he's teching up fairly normally, nothing too scary. Here come the add-ons right on cue. 1 tech lab, 1 reactor, a 2nd reactor being added on there as well. So just going to be getting stimmed down early on. No double tech labs or anything like that. But yeah, these Stalkers actually getting a little bit caught out of position. 1 gets taken down there. That is in 1 fell swoop. Cut in 3rd. How much Stalkers there are out for Hasuobs.
Yeah, you really cannot afford to lose units this early on in the game. Dayshi has shown previously he's not afraid to go out and try to make big Marine shoves, not even just pokes, really trying to just throw in some damage, but he's going to get a bunker up here and reasonable defensive play. He doesn't actually know 100% what is coming from Hasuobs. In fact, he hasn't scouted the main base or the natural expansion at all. For all he knows, he's getting that 6-gated or something absolutely ridiculous off of 2 bases, but we do have an observer coming out for Hasuobs. He's going to be able to scout out what exactly Dayshi is doing, although he does know that he has gone for the command center first, which allows him to be a little bit more greedy and make a few more cuts in his build, I think.
Yeah, you can definitely go a bit more greedy now when you know that the command center first build have been utilized. Also, it's what tech choices we see coming out of Hasuobs. Will he go for relatively fast Colossi? Maybe he will. He's only got on an additional 2 gateways here, so he's certainly got the money to. And there we go. The robotics bay is now getting started at the back of the main base. There's also a proxy pylon coming down, so potentially just going to try and be a little bit more awkward. Stim is about half completed. There comes the starport as well for Dayshi, plus that reactor. The 3rd command center morphing into an orbital command. Really quite an effective play at the moment, and yeah, these two just going to be sitting back, macroing up, teching up. Neither of them going to be aiming to push out too soon, in my opinion.
No, you're 100% right. He's playing this back pretty conservatively. The one thing to note is, of course, that he got the robotics facility before the 2 gateways, so he's feeling very comfortable. He's getting a single forge, though, so this could be something along the lines of either going for whether he wants to favor the Templar or whether he wants to favor the Colossi, and this is largely going to be based off whether he gets +1 attack or +1 armor on this forge. Generally speaking, you get +1 armor, you want to get the fast +2, go with some kind of charge lot timing. You go for the attack, you want to go for a big Colossi timing, and while he is chrono boosting out that Colossus and the Thermal Lance, he's going to go for the armor, so he's really going to end up leaning heavily into charge lots later on with his army composition.
Now, the other thing we've got from Hasuobs is his 3rd Nexus has just been taken. That's really quite an early 3rd, but clearly we see here at the moment we do have the Orbit Commander coming down, and unfortunately we seem to be having a bit of lag coming down here from the studio.
Yeah, hopefully all is well there.
Yep, it seems to have stabilized. Dayshi just being like, yeah, hopefully this will stabilize now. We haven't had any issues all day, so that should clear up momentarily. So we'll wait to see what the players are going to do. But yeah, as how this is going at the moment, we are sitting in quite a nice spot because there's 3 games, there's 3 bases out at the moment, and unfortunately we're not going to get to cast the rest of this if the players want our studio out, which is a bit of an issue. So nope, they're going to go. Hopefully it won't cause any more issues. Very unlikely to, because it's not happened all day. So yeah, here we go. Bottom right position, we see that the 3rd Nexus is coming out. Dayshi, I reckon, will float this Orbit Command over fairly soon, to be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. Both these players really playing economically. I will say the fact that it's going for the single forge is going to favor Dayshi just a little bit. It's a lot easier for Protoss players to get away with double forge than it is for Terran to do double engineering bay, just because the Mothership Core just allows you to be really defensive and kind of cut some of your early expenses. But we do have Hasuobs now pushing out towards where his 3rd base is going to be, and Dayshi, he's pushing forward as well. He's got his stim pack upgrade, combat shield is on the way, he's got some medevacs, but I feel like he can't push against this. There's way too many force fields available, and well, these Stalkers are really good. He's actually going to catch them outside, away from the Colossus though. This could be big.
Yeah, he gets 1 sentry straight away. The second one gets pulled back just in time by Hasuobs there. Really important that he managed to pull that back. The Colossus is down on the field. Extended Thermal Lance is finished as well. The Templar Archive's coming down, but for the moment, Hasuobs should be able to hold most of this back using a Time Warp. The Mothership Core just surviving with 2 HP. My goodness, that was close, but the 3rd Nexus is still up and running. Perfectly fine. But all while pushing across, Dayshi executed a fundamental of StarCraft. If you've gained map control by attacking, you can take your expansion quite safely behind that.
Yeah, I will say though, I don't think Dayshi. Okay, he did spot that Nexus that's on the way, so he went for a lot of pressure. Wasn't able to do anything about the 3rd base of the Protoss player, and you know, on a map this big where there's so much space for drops and maneuvering and just catching armies out in the open, a 3rd base this fast for a Protoss is very, very nice. Hasuobs, if he can hold on to this, he's going to be one happy man. But this is the part of the game where Dayshi really needs to kick it up a notch, throwing around the multi-prong drops. He needs to throw around the split push pressure and really just try to get inside the head of his opponent. Interestingly enough, we actually did not see a fast +2 armor from Hasuobs, so he is playing this.
We've got 2 Zealots down here actually coming into the 3rd base of Dayshi. didn't actually manage to get too many kills because there was some infantry there, but a couple of probes went down, and that's actually forced Dayshi to pull back a lot of units because he wants to identify the proxy pylon. He's searching around the back, but it's actually quite a long way away down to the bottom right of the map. So that was a nice little push by Hasuobs, and it bought him some time, Nathanius, and that's the important thing. It pulled back all of the Terran army, meaning this third base is starting to look really quite secure. And as you said, I'm going to be Hasuobs is going to be really happy about that, getting an early third as a Protoss player on a nice big map.
Yeah, and, you know, that's just going to make things easier and easier for him as time goes by. Bioforce is going to take a little bit of time to move around the map. He does have Vikings now mixed into his composition. Dayshi is ahead on supply just because of how fast bio units build and how cheap they are. But Hasuobs with good control should be able to hold this off quite well. He's got 4 Colossi. There are only 4 Vikings. You need about 8 Vikings to be able to two-shot a Colossus. So he has quite a bit of work ahead of him if he thinks he's going to be able to punch through 4 Colossi with this little anti-air. Especially, of course, since the Stalkers can lower that number very quickly as well.
Photon Overcharge has been triggered on the third base. The Colossi actually at the back, getting focused down, but some good force moves there by Hasuobs. Split up the army, and now the charge slots able to just come straight in here and deal some damage. Meanwhile, of course, this is just nicely defended. All 4 of the Colossi do stay up. The Viking count still up at 6 though, so the damaged Colossus will die very quickly. But all in all, Dayshi, I don't think he's going to feel confident here moving in once more. The 5th Colossus is about to pop out. No tech switch as of yet. Charge is getting research. Blink is already down. But yeah, no Templar archives at the moment for Hasuobs. I'm expecting to see that relatively soon though.
Yeah. This is a bit of a weird situation. I mean, we have Mobius Reactor coming in for Dayshi. He's going to be prepared for Templar in a way, in a manner of speaking. But we do have him moving some pylons around. He's getting some zealots kind of meandering across the map. I feel like the charge is a little bit late, which is going to make taking engagements a bit more favorable for Dayshi. But those Colossi, they really did work. And now there's 5 of them on the field. He is going to need a lot of Vikings to really be able to deal with this. Zealots running over towards the third base, but that will be picked off as well. He's not going to be able to do too much damage. And I will say, pretty unusually, we actually have an upgrade advantage for a Terran player against a Protoss, and this could actually be a difference maker enough that if he can get into a good fight, he should definitely be able to win very easily. 2-1 right now with +2 armor about to finish versus just 1-1, and +2 is only halfway done for the armor of Hasuobs.
Yeah, and that is a big thing as well, because let's face it, upgrade advantages, it's only a single forge up against the double engineering bay, +3 Terran infantry weapons already getting started. But the Templar Archives has now completed. Fairly soon, we should be seeing Storm start researching, but as we saw earlier, Dayshi has already started with the Ghost production. He's got the first one down on the field. The EMP is going to start becoming quite critical. Charge now finished for those Zealots, though, and Hasuobs is actually getting split between his third and natural base, with all of Dayshi's army coming in, sending a small force up towards the natural. It's going to be difficult for Hasuobs to get back there to try and defend this.
Yeah, this is a bit of a rough spot. The charge lots are getting in, though, and a lot of damage being hit. These Hellbats are helping to sprinkle through. A good number of Vikings are on the field. 2 of the Colossi do go down. We have only 1 standing, and that will fall as well. Dayshi seems to be getting the engagement he needs. Those upgrades, that upgrade advantage is so big right now, helping him out. 2-2 versus 1-1. This is exactly where you want to be as a Terran player fighting a Protoss. He's killed the natural expansion off. He's killed off all the big tech units. There's nothing else. You have a Dark Shrine on the way, but that will not be done in time. Dayshi pressing forward. The probes are being pulled, but there are Hellbats in this composition. You can't pull against that. And now the rest of the Stalkers taking a lot of damage. These Zealots warped in might be able to turn the tide here, at least for now, but Dayshi still sitting with a nice, comfortable supply lead, has 3 bases set up, actually has his 4th landed and a 5th command center done. Oh man, Dayshi is in a really good position right now.
Dayshi is in a spectacular position right now. Aside from the fact that he's got the base advantage, the upgrade advantage, what splash damage is out on the field at the moment for Hasuobs? He's got a handful of High Templar. Storm is just finishing up. But aside from that, all of the Colossi died. He's got the Dark Shrine coming down, which is really his only option. He's got to go for some DTs, because other than that, well, he's certainly behind, so you've got a Dark Shrine. But to be honest, Dayshi, he's way ahead. He's over 50 supply ahead right now. And he's got such a nice army composition. The Ghost count is a 2. He needs to keep producing those just to deal with the High Templar. And if he does that, get some good EMPs off, Hasuobs, he's got to be hoping for a miracle right now.
Yeah, this is a really rough spot to be in. He's going to need grubby level storms basically here to pull this game back, and even that might not be enough. He does have his third base is still technically mining. He has a reasonable income. The main base, though, pretty dry. Natural, well, he obviously cannot mine off of that for the moment, but no fourth base. And with so many units in the field for Dayshi, this next push, this could be the nail in the coffin for our final match here, WCS EU Challenger League.
And here we go, one High Templar going forward, gets an EMP off, but then dies. Storms have to be so good here. The upgrade advantage is also there still for Dayshi. He's got 3-2 up against 2, and we saw previously just how important that upgrade advantage can be. High Templar trying to sneak forward, one DT swiping away, slowly, scans going off, and the DT actually running back into the scan, but a Storm will save it. This third base critical, but look at this. Even though there's a DT forcing back the fourth base, it still means that Dayshi, he's got a great income. We've got some Zealot Warpins coming towards the natural base, which isn't even mined out. None of the SCVs are actually mining there, but still, Dayshi, he's got a maxed out army against 144 supply of Hasuobs. He's got the upgrade advantage, and things are really just such a fantastic spot for the tournament right now.
Yeah, Hasuobs, though, he's getting some Zealots into the natural. He's picking off a few SCVs, and he is going to try to slowly but surely claw his way back into this game. Dayshi just has so much, so he's running into the natural. A couple High Templar are going to get caught out of position. The Storms begin to drop, but there's not too much actually drop on. A Dark Templar sent out to try to help mix in some DPS here. Nice play. But there's Marines and Marauders in the main. There's Marines and Marauders in the natural. He's trying to get towards the third, but Hasuobs, oh, he's doing his best to bring this supply close. It is actually getting oh so close now between these two players. He needs to kill everything here, basically, with these Storms if he wants to win this game. It's some great Storms going down for Hasuobs all over Dayshi's army, but that's it. He's out of Storms. There's nothing left here, and Dayshi just has too much. He's going to push through, picking off everything left at this third base, and this is really the last vestige of economy for Hasuobs.
Yeah, he's about to lose this. He's pulling all of the probes, which is never a good sign. There's even a Hellbat in there, just helping dealing with those as quickly as possible. There was a Zealot counterattack coming in from Hasuobs, but it just wasn't enough. Hasu, GT, well played, and Dayshi will take this series 2-1.